Greetings and salutations, folks. My name is Nick, and welcome back to Forza Motorsport 7, where we're still in the Breakout Cup. With about 2,600 points to go, I would say that puts us at two more of these sets to complete out. Let's see. We got SUVs, Forza touring cars. That might be interesting. Rally heroes. Formula E might be interesting. I'm not really interested in trucks. I have a vintage sport car already. Let's go do that. Use the card.
Cars the manufacturers build for the factory's racing teams to win at the track. In some cases, they get promoted to flagship status. And if a car company can't show off a supercar, they unleash one of these to the oohs and ahs of the public.
Yeah, sure, why not? Okay, this one is only 2 laps, but it looks like it has a lot of very tight corners, especially towards the middle. But this particular race is only going to be 2 laps, so that's going to be either a lot of sprints or a lot of hauling ass in regards to getting around those corners. Okay, so this one curves slightly to the right. Not too much of a big deal. Not exactly the greatest turn, but I suppose I am farther up than I was before. Is it just me, or is this track really dark, or is it just the lighting? And... okay, so not as terrible as I was expecting that corner to be. But then we've got another one coming up in just a second. I'm sure we can replace that rear, that side view mirror that I just busted. Alright, so we're at 6th place now. 5 more to go. Oh, a little bit too wide. Hopefully I can cover that by the time I actually get... there we go. Thank you for straightening me out. And it's raining. Nope. Stop spinning out. Thank you. This is highly unfortunate. I would have rather liked to be in the lead in the middle of a rainstorm. But I suppose now I'm a little bit confirmed in regards to my previous thought, like, why is it so dark right now? Because bad weather is on the way, and also I suppose props to this game for having a day-night cycle that allows for weather changing patterns. Okay. Unless this guy does something really quick like... I've got 3 cars to pass up. And unfortunately, it is in my worst weather condition to drive. Okay, 2 places. But yeah, if I end up not coming in first, that means I'm going to be starting off at a bit of a disadvantage for this set. So I might actually want to focus on relatively clean driving. And hope that is enough to carry me on to win this, because I'm not exactly catching up with this. Oh, never mind. Alright, there goes that guy. Am I able to get enough speed to get past no. Not if I do stupid things like that. Alright, so at the very least, I've got this corner. See that? Is a pretty solid turn. That was pretty good. Forza didn't acknowledge it. That's okay. I'm going to acknowledge it for Forza. Ah, damn it. Yeah. That's, like, if I didn't rewind at that point, I still need a lot of practice in regards to driving in the rain. I would have liked to avoid having to rewind, but it would have either been that or redo the whole race. And I would not have wanted, or at the very least, end up having to hope for the best. And only get the best for every single race following this. Alright. Here's hoping for good weather at least. Like, sure, why not? Like, I feel as though I do fine as long as the weather is decent. When the weather becomes indecent, and also, I suppose, shorter tracks, because that leaves me with a lot less room to worry about catching up. But yeah, once the weather starts to get worse, the tracks get shorter, that means I feel as though I have to drive a little bit more aggressively. But I wonder if I didn't do that stupid thing in regards to driving on land, would I have been able to pass that person up faster? See, that was fast. I'm gonna take that as an impressive convenience, because now everybody is way behind me. Now I can just focus on driving the automobile. and hopefully maintaining that racing line without spinning out too much. Like, I've clearly given... Like, I can make... There is room to make mistakes. At the very least, at this point in the race. Are they driving identical cars? I think they're driving the same car. I'm being chased after by the same lime green classic automobiles. Which either could be due to perhaps just the randomness of the car selection, the variety of the car selection, because there's only so many cars for them to choose from, or my terrible, terrible internet status. One of the three. In the meantime, though, I do not mind spending the rest of the race looking at them in my rearview mirror. It is a very accommodating place for them to be. While I hopefully try to use the rest of this, no, that was a poor turn. I was gonna say, while I use the rest of this race, hopefully, to practice actually driving, and then I just smash through some cones. Ah. Hello. You're supposed to be farther back. It's very rude of you for being so up close. But yeah, that's that turn was problematic, not necessarily because it was unclean, but because I was unable to start accelerating as soon as the other racers, and they were given the capacity to catch up, at the very least just slightly. But that is what I get for not... And that's something in regards to the racing line I don't think I've mentioned before, is that it actually uses car physics. And this is, like, I do not race. I drive the speed limit on streets, maybe slightly above the speed limit on highways. So the entire, the concept of racing has not existed in my life outside of video games. And like I said before, mostly because of the expense. Sir, you're getting a little bit too close for my comfort. You can back off now. But at the very least, this race is just about done. Nope, don't spin out right at the last minute. And there we go. Alright, now on to track 3 of 5. Did I have to rewind in that second race? I don't think I did. Because, yeah, I got off that, that starting line for me.
Approaching. Prep for night driving.
Le Mans. Yeah, I didn't really have to rewind during that last track. Wow, that is an interesting loop at the bottom there. because of how quickly I managed to overtake everybody right at the beginning. I was not able to do so in the first race, which led to problems. Although, to be fair, I think that quick overtake was more the exception than the rule. Or was it? So long, suckers! Nope. Alright. No. I said, so long, suckers. Do you not understand what that means? All right. And now we'll do this little bit of a loop-de-loop. Not so sharp of a corner, but enough of a corner that you do have to compensate for it. This one, with its more 90-degree sections, requires a little bit more... Alright. And it kind of looked like, looking at the mini-map, it almost looks like I'm being just followed by a slinky. Especially when going around turns, because it just, like, you see all of the icons of the drivers collapsing in on itself, and then expanding out as it switches from a turn to a straightaway. Nope, didn't slow down fast enough for that. And another of these square curves. All right, 1 out of 2 laps is done. See, night driving isn't so bad, although to be fair, this is a pretty bright night. And I'm not even just talking about the lights of the, racetrack itself. I'm also just talking about the sky in general. Like, if I'm supposed to be worried about night driving, like, this feels... Like, in the introduction of the race, the guy said, sunset is coming. This does feel like you're driving perpetually at sunset. It does not necessarily feel like you're driving at night. Now, like, imagine you were doing this race, but the entire road was pitch black. All you had to survive was the headlights to shine your way. And I feel like that would give this track a much different ambiance. Like, even if you only, like, the only light sources in this track was your headlights and the lights that are put around the racetrack, that still would be significantly darker than what it is now. And would create a much more different atmosphere. There we go. And then one more set of turns and we are done with this track. And it's distant Ferris wheel. Although I suppose that's the thing with these, with motorsport versus, Horizons. Like, in Horizons, you could have the Ferris wheel and you could drive by it. Motorsport always has to occur within the confines of a racetrack. so that Ferris wheel will always appear in the distance. All right, 2 more races, and then we are almost done with the Breakout Cup. We're still going to need to do 1 more set after this to finish the Breakout Cup. Oh my gosh. That seems to be a theme of this set, is just a lot of turns. A lot of really tight turns. Let's see if I'll be able to break out past the rest of the pack before that first turn, because that has been very convenient so far. But I think this turn is actually coming up a little bit quicker. Nope. There we go. Ah. All right, almost. And there we go. That was a good pass. A lot of shorter races for this set. A lot of 2-lap races, which I'm fine with. Especially after that endurance race. That endurance race is still fresh on the mind and body and soul. So I'm ahead, but I'm not that far ahead. I'm not to the point where I really should be considering myself comfortably ahead. Although that was a good turn. Thank you, video game. Even Forza Motorsport acknowledges the quality of that turn. You know, having the nice cinematic camera angle always looks good, but it's unusable. It's like, I want to say Grand Theft Auto games have had the cinematic camera angle, but it's like one of the most useless features. Like the time, I would imagine that would be an interesting, like a dumb internet competition, something that somebody can do, is like have a race go from one point to another, have everybody compete in a race, but everybody is forced to use the cinematic camera angle, which would make it significantly harder and perhaps slightly more entertaining to watch than just, or entertaining in a different fashion. Like, there's entertaining when you watch somebody who's really good at a game do something. I'm not doing that right now, so oof. And then there's also entertaining in regards to watching people goof around in a game, which I'm also not doing. But this existential commentary can wait for another day. In the meantime, let's keep talking about this cinematic race. And I feel as though that's something, like, with the rise of games like Fall Guys and Gang Beasts, where you watch, like, multiplayer games where people just kind of, like, flop around for the fun of it. Although I hear Fall Guys does get pretty competitive. Like, the entire idea of seeing somebody try a race like this from an unusable angle sounds on par with that. Though also, I wonder if it would also break down because of how unusable it is. Like, would the winner just be whoever gets the farthest in a certain amount of time, and it's just unable to be completed in fast enough? It's just, like, if it goes on for too long, eventually there's going to be a threshold in which cinematic car race is no longer entertaining. Like, I can make cinematic camera angles, but I can't use them to race. I just have to trust that I'm faced forward while doing this, and maybe I won't crash. But, like, imagining to do that in, like, Grand Theft Auto, not only are you dealing with just the act of racing, but you also probably also have to deal with other people on the road. But regardless of such, this race is long. All right. Let us carry on.
You'll never get better just racing weaker opponents. Now, how about challenging yourself by pushing up the difficulty?
Let's do that. I don't think I can worry about, I don't think I need to worry about getting first place in order to win first in this set. Let us raise the difficulty. Because so far, I think the thing that's been holding me back hasn't necessarily been the drivatar difficulty, but my own incompetence. So that sounds like a great reason to raise the difficulty? I don't know. My own terrible racing in the rain. Let's see how this goes, where the consequences are more or less not there. And then we'll see if it was a bad idea or not. That is a very tight turn over there. Excuse me. Oh my gosh. What am I doing? Wow. Let's... Okay, where did I specifically go wrong? Okay, that is where I went wrong. I ended up on the grass. And then stayed on the grass. And did not leave the grass. Excuse me. Oh my gosh. Alright, yeah, that's fine. A nice little curve there. Excuse me. Sir, that did not give you permission to pass by and take advantage of the gap that I had created. Alright, so apparently what happened was I increased the difficulty to make the other drivers smarter, and then I, in order to compensate, became significantly dumber. That's clearly what happened. Let's see if I can pass this person by, but like I said before, I don't need to get first in order to win. Okay, so my overland driving probably should really come to a halt eventually, simply because of how much it slows you down. Like, I find myself wondering whether it's worth taking the risk. There we go. Yeah, that was not a good turn. Forza, you do not have to recognize that as a good turn. And they didn't, because it was bad. Alright. And now this... There we go. Thank you. Now, if you don't mind me, I'm just going to carry on and hopefully win this race. Without doing more stupid stuff. I think that's also one of those difficulty thresholds that I need to clear out, is just, can I avoid doing stupid stuff? Like driving over barriers, or just plowing right into the grass and expecting the same amount of traction. Although I suppose all of that could easily go back to just follow the racing line. But the simple act of following the racing line isn't necessarily going to... Like, if everybody's following the racing line, obviously you wouldn't be able to... Well, you wouldn't... by itself, if everybody was performing in the exact same fashion, you wouldn't maybe be able to pass by. You wouldn't really be able to pass by a single racer, but that presumes that everybody's performing at the exact same level. And then that also presumes that all interactions with other racers are going to occur in the same fashion. Like, I'm sure the people back there are probably not bumping into each other as much as I'm bumping into them. Maybe. I don't know. But that guy in the back there... Ooh, that guy in the back there. They've got no chance. Alright.
Way to go.
Right.
You're getting to be a regular on the podium.
Thank you. I'm trying my best. I only had rewind twice during that set. Once because of a really... the first time I don't think I screwed up as badly. It was like the second one was obviously me just being dumb. We've increased the difficulty. We'll see how well that goes from here on out. But so far it hasn't been too bad. And it's increased the amount of credits we got. So there's that at least. For now though, got any suggestions for something to play next? Leave them down in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and have yourselves a good night.